So the wash apparently is going to be highly pigmented, so I need to water it down a lot. I'm a little worried. And I don't know, do I have the other color? Oh, I have two. I have two to do. So we have like the Black Templar, and I have Agrax Earthshade. Oh no, the lid just came fully off. Mistakes were made. How is that even possible? Try that again, shall I? And I'm going to use the Earthshade on the flat panels of the armor, so that it's more of a I know what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I know what I'm going for. That's what's important. Ooh, this is a nice color.
Wait, have we come back in yet?
Yes.
Okay.
They were just like enjoying me talking about painting. Like
yeah, no. If you want me to sit back for a bit, you want to talk about painting, you can talk about painting.
Yeah, you know, that is part of this show too.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm gonna fight you one day. This is gonna take a while to dry
okay.
when I am done. So why if I just pick like the biggest brush ever?
Before we fight,
okay.
How do you feel about living metal and immortality?
I mean that bit's not so terrible.
Right.
I think the part with the whole I'll just eat these leftover souls, shall I? Probably is what did them in. More so than the living metal. Right? No? Yes?
Sure.
Like that's where the problems arose. No?
I guess?
Because, you know, initially living metal, yeah, not great.
No.
But better
not amazing.
Better than dying constantly young because of their sun and stuff.
Are you sure?
No?
Like,
do you not think living metal? Like, I don't think it's that bad. Like, I think it's
I'd be
a Terminator.
Have a soul,
Well, yeah, but it's because they got eaten, not because they don't generally have souls. Like that was the Catan ruining the deal.
Sure. I'm not sure that's completely true.
That's how I feel.
Okay, that's
and it is as relevant as anything else.
So how's the painting going?
Good. I'm doing the contrast paint now, which is scary. Because I don't want it to, but it's like super watery, but I don't want it to like pool anywhere and make weird shadows.
Fair.
So it's a little bit terrifying.
See, this is already way more complex and intricate than when I used to paint, so I'm like, contrast? Sure.
Well, apparently there's like the classic method of painting and then the wash and the contrast method. And to me, like there seems to be a lot less to do with the contrast method.
Yeah.
But I guess you probably did the classic, right?
I was 9, so
yeah, so probably.
I put paint on a paintbrush and I splodged.
Right. Yeah.
I used the splodge method. I don't know if you know it. It's quite classic old technique.
Yeah. I mean, high level technique there. I learned the careful method. You know, but whatever works.
Feeling judged, but okay.
Whatever works for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, you're hanging out with me. You should feel a little judged. It generally happens.
I have noticed, yes.
Yeah.
Should
we get back to some lore?
yeah, I was about to ask because it now feels like Punch the Sheepdog, and
it's like punching down, really, isn't it?
Wow.
lore
Okay.
then?
So yeah, the Necrons got into the webway.
Right. Yes.
It's very much a case of someone left an open pack of sugar,
Why
and someone else.
sugar?
Well, because so like an old one left an open pack of sugar, and another old one was like walking past and like nudged the desk, and it tipped all over the floor.
Right.
It's like I'll clean that up later. And then he came back the next day, and there's Necrons all over it, and he was like, ah shit, I'm never gonna get rid of these little bastards now.
Oops.
So.
I thought it was humanity that are like ants, not Necrons.
Yeah, well, you know, humanity doesn't exist at the moment in this
Right.
time,
Yeah.
time frame.
True.
So.
I'm like, yeah, true, as though I know.
True.
True.
Preach. So yeah, they could get in there, but also it wasn't their house. They just kind of using it. So there's a lot of like trial and error and going in the wrong direction and randomly exploding. You know, shit like that. It's fine. But yeah, the old ones got kicked out. The old ones are gone. Like they're done.
Yeah, they
no
got beaten back and.
Yeah, and the Crocs are probably still about somewhere, but they'll slowly devolve into orcs.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, not quite as strong, much less intelligent, and they were kind of designed to fight and destroy the Necrons and the Catan.
Oh, well, spoilers for the Orc episode.
Well, we probably wouldn't. Like, there's so much to talk about with the orcs. I'd have said that in like 5 minutes right at the beginning and then moved on.
That's interesting though, like where species originated to deal with other.
Well, you know how the Catan and the Necrons made those pylons to like reduce the warp, and how all and the Immaterium and all like living beings are connected to the warp and the Immaterium.
Yeah.
You know who's not and who's not affected? The orcs.
The orcs. Why are they not affected?
They like to crump.
Because that makes sense, and I know exactly what that means. Like, wait. No, I don't know.
Let's go to that planet and crump it.
Kill it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That's orcs. The thing about the orcs is,
they're great.
Well, they're a meme, and that's fine, because memes take on a life of their own. And essentially, what Games Workshop have accidentally managed to do is create the most fun sci-fi race in existence that makes no sense, can do anything, completely breaks reality, and everyone loves them for it. Which, when you consider what nerds are like, that's a really difficult task. You know?
Everyone loves an orc.
Yeah, the orcs are fun.
I'm really happy with this contrast paint.
That's good. You hear the sounds of slurping.
I did hear that, yeah. It was kind of horrific.
It's not me.
Right. I mean, it's not me, and your light. I will actually. I can't stand that noise. It hurts me to my core and makes me irrationally angry beyond belief. So, next watch Agrax Earthshade.
It's alright. I put it down.
Yeah, you better.
So, the Catan ate the Necrons like
Slurpee. Sheepy.
Anyway.
Right. They
So,
did that.
yeah, they now own the galaxy, and they're feeding other species to the Catan, and the Catan are eating shit, and
Being horrible and the worst ever. So they're into the webway. That's where we got to.
yeah.
And the orcs aren't affected by that.
Well, the orcs are kind of sidebars a little bit, for the moment anyway.
Oh, this is a fun color. Sorry. Paintings, great.
So the Catan fought against each other a little bit.
Whoa, why did that happen?
Well, because there's
Not much else to do. Oh.
Yeah, they were basically like, we're kind of gods now, I guess. And also bored, and also anything intelligent kind of hates other intelligent things, and so you're like, I'm sorry, are you saying my hedge is too tall? Fuck you! I'm gonna burn your house down. It's just how intelligent people act.
Yeah. Obviously.
They'd like build a giant city, and then some other Catan would come around and like kick it down. It's like, I was building that.
I was building. Oh yeah, I mean it inevitably happens in this universe and others I imagine, where everything is calm, so we must turn upon ourselves.
And then they started eating themselves or each other.
Well, that's one way to get more power.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? Is they started eating stars, just kind of like energy, and then they were like, "Hey, what about souls and organic and stuff?" So they went organic for a while.
So did they go back to space dust, or did they?
No, they went more back to they went like further on, where they're like, "Hey, we've eaten stars, we've eaten people. What about each other? That's probably gonna taste good because we're like
damn tasty."
Yeah, gathered up all of this energy.
Why not? Give it a try. See what happens.
Yeah, why not?
That went down well. So started a war with themselves.
Started a war with themselves, and before the old ones went, they basically nurtured some warrior races. Some you may know, some you won't. The Aeldari, obviously.
Oh, I know of those.
The Rashan,
I
the
don't.
Chikero, the Nib, Orc.
Okay, and they just left them to their own devices.
I mean, they kind of got destroyed or like severely beaten or chased out of the galaxy. I think one of the possibilities of what the Tyranids are running away from are the old ones.
Oh.
I think it's very possible the old ones went to a neighboring galaxy, saw these like galaxy devouring assholes, and were like, "Hey, the Catan are over there. They were dicks." Also, the Necrons or Necrontyrs, whatever they're calling themselves nowadays, it's a phase.
It's a phase. It's not a phase, Mom.
And they were like, "Why not send these Tyranid things, these little hive mind planet devouring things? Let's send them over to the other galaxy." And so they chased them out.
Great.
Or they just left an open bag of sugar somewhere on a table and.
So much sugar in this universe. They need to stop.
Well,
the Emperor disapproves.
If anyone is ants, it is the Tyranids.
Yeah. This is why the Emperor doesn't like excess and flavorings, because brings ants and Tyranids.
Yeah. Salt's basically heresy.
Oh yeah. Love some heresy though.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, you know, I'm very much a Zinchi boy. So
Na, na,
what can you
na.
do?
Oh my gosh, this is looking so good.
I don't know what happened in the last 20 minutes, but we've apparently gone from this is terrible, everything is horrible, this I fucked this up.
No, I did say it always looks bad just before it gets before it goes right.
It's always darkest right before the dawn,
Exactly.
which
Always
isn't
looks
true.
like a mess until you
Speaking as someone with insomnia,
No, just before the dawn it's kind of bright.
yeah, it's pretty fucking bright before the dawn, but you know, it's fine, it's whatever.
God, I think I'm gonna I'm gonna mix some contrast and I'm gonna paint the base so that it has more depth to it. And I'm gonna ruin it and it's gonna be great.
So time passes. Time passes. And the Catan are being dicks and the Necrons are being servants. And eventually all of those engineered warriors, like engineered warrior races, they start turning up being fairly warp empowered, you know, like little bit of magic, little bit craziness.
Oh no.
Necrons can't do that. Catan can't do that. Fuck those dudes. So you know
they started winning a little.
Well, see, the thing is the Catan don't do well against the Immaterium. Also,
well, that's why they wanted
warp.
to close it with the pylons.
That's why they wanted to close it.
Right.
Unfortunately, when you use psycho powers, you're using the Immaterium. So for the Catan, it's basically fucking kryptonite.
So they were just like totally losing this war against all the warrior races. Or was it just out and about and everywhere the Catan went, it was like their own radiation?
Yeah, kind of. They essentially banded together again after fighting each other for ages. I think it was a little bit like the old ones and the Necrontyr, where they're like, they're not a problem anymore. And then Omicron like pops out of his basement and he's like, whoa, not for long,
not
bitches.
For long. Omicron, I love him. What a bro.
That's not his name. I can never remember his name.
No, that's his name now.
Omicron, okay.
Because that's how I remember it, unless you're teaching me wrong.
No, it's Omicron or Omni something.
Omicron.
Because he's predicting things. I can't remember, and I'm not going back to look because I've gone back to look like 3 times now.
Right, and you can't.
Oricon. It's like Oracle.
Oricon. Okay.
Yeah, it's like Oracle, and I keep thinking it's like Nomicon. You kept saying Nomicon.
Sorry. Oricon?
Essentially, Games Workshop has no subtlety when it comes to names, and they just name people after what they are. Oracle, Orican. Close enough. It's like 2 letters away on a keyboard.
Oh dear. I'm just having a little stretch because I've got some edge highlighting to do next.
Oh, we better turn on the Linkin Park.
Edge highlight. Took me a second. Yeah. I was thinking about the colours. Oh dear. No, you're terrible.
So. They decided to. You remember those pylons that got put up?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, okay, execute Order 66. And turn on the pylons and close the warp.
Right. So I take it that didn't go well because we can still go in the warp. we still mess around with the warp now.
Yes. They basically had to go to a whole load of planets and turn on some build some pylons made of blackstone. I don't really know what blackstone is, but I guess it's like anti-warp shit.
Right.
Very, very interestingly, they did this on a world that later would be known as Cadia.
Cadia. Okay.
Well, just, for the future, we may talk about that at some point. Who knows?
Cadia. Let's see if that comes up.
Yeah.
Okay, so they tried to turn these pylons on, close the warp. How did that go for them? Like, what happened? What's the crack?
Well, so you know how I said that the immaterium. I was waiting for chat to go nuts. You know how I said the immaterium is like there's not much in terms of like chaositude going on.
Because it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, it does, but it's not like originally around this time, like the birth of the galaxy and all that type of thing. Like the Chaos Gods, I think, are there, but they've got like little corners of the immaterium. They're like weak and
they're just chilling out.
Yeah, they're just chilling. They're not doing much,
Like you've got
whatever.
I've got enough chaos food. I'm good. Right.
So what's the name of the thing that we're currently talking about? The thing we're in, the war between
the war well, no, it's the rebellion.
It's
happened.
The war in heaven.
All right, I was going to say the war in heaven, but then we were going to talk about the rebellion. So, right.
So, who likes war?
Corn.
Corn likes war. I do. Ooh.
So Corn starts getting real happy. Yeah.
I just made a Keenan and Kel reference.
I know. I was going to move on.
I hate myself.
Why? It's a good show.
I hate Keenan and Kel.
Oh.
I don't know why. I always hated it.
Because you hate joy. That's why.
It is because I hate joy. But also, like, you remember how all the other, like, the younger races were, like, psychically gifted?
Yeah.
And that reacts with the immaterium and you remember how also the Necrons are like grabbing people and
feeding them to the Catan.
Like that's a lot of trauma and fear and pain and a lot of war.
Love war. Yeah. So Corn's quite happy.
So things in the warp kind of got a little bit like the warp is kind of a little bit a reflection of reality, I guess, or like the main world existence.
Yeah, like if sorry. If
Yeah.
the universe were safe and happy, the warp would be not as chaotic and weird and wonderful, right?
Yeah, yeah. So essentially, chaos was born, pretty much, like properly, like how it is now.
Oh.
Because there's a massive fucking war, everyone's traumatized and in pain and screaming out, and the entirety of existence is in chaos. Guess what? Say you get chaos, and now you've got chaos.
Yay!
Which isn't great for the Catan, because, well, it's kryptonite, and now they have chaos kryptonite. And Korn's like, yo, what's up? And Tzeentch is like, exactly as I planned.
Exactly as I...
And then Nurgle's like, blah, 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 blah.
What are you whippersnappers talking about? Plagues?
Yeah, someone said something about plagues.
I love plagues.
So they all turned up, and they're like, "Let's fucking do this."
Let's exacerbate the issue.
Which of course caused like cracks and holes in the universe.
Even more.
Well, yeah. Well, because like you've got all these new demons and shit who've been kind of like warped in the warp.
Warped, right?
Yeah, warped in the warp. So, and then the old ones who, in this instance, kind of still around. Just FYI, they're like, oh shit, and they lost all of their webway network and their gates and everything.
Probably a good shout at that point to be like, no, I don't really want to mess with that. They've not been having a good time. They should have shared.
Yeah.
Then the Necrons wouldn't have been so drama.
Well, they may have just done it anyway because the dicks.
Yeah, maybe. But...
So anyway.
Sorry.
one of the. One of the things in the warp that was kind of birthed by all of these psychers and bullshit that's going on, things called enslavers. Now, I didn't know much about enslavers myself.
Okay.
They're also known as sirens, krell, dominators, or puppeteers. Essentially, they like to get inside psyker brains.
Oh.
And possess them.
Yay!
So, this is an example that I'm just verbatim reading off.
Okay.
Call them what you will, krell, sirens, or enslavers. Just one witch, unsanctioned, caused the destruction of Hive Scorpius when one of those things used her brain as a gateway to this world. Within 3 days, the entire Hive's population was reduced to drooling mind slaves. Within 3 weeks, an entire continent was at war, and all because the governor thought his family should be exempt from the psyker cull and refused to give his daughters to the black ships. That's Inquisitor Malin.
Well, that would be their side of the story, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But also, yeah, that was... You gotta...
Essentially, from what I know, like the Necrons and Catan were already kicking the ass of the old ones, but also the enslavers kind of came around and they were like, oh, also.
Oh, also, I'm just gonna piggyback a little.
Also, is us. Hello.
Hello. Oh, hitchhiking is hard. Okay, so now we've got chaos. Now we've got messed up warp. We've got soulless Necrons. We've got enslavers. And then what are the Necrons doing? Like, can they ever make more Necrons, or are they just set with like what they had?
Well, so essentially, the Necrons, when they die, they don't actually die for the most part. They just transfer back into a new body in a tomb world.
Oh.
So if you like, so we haven't really spoken much about characters or like Necron characters.
Yeah.
But you remember that dude who donated to the.
I need some extra words here.
The guy who donated to the first set of like
Trazyn?
Trazyn.
Right.
Trazyn, the Infinite, is a Necron, kind of Necron leader.
Yeah.
Leader, sure.
Bro, total Chad.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like there's an example where he it was actually on Cadia. He turned up at one point on Cadia and he's like, yo, what's up, I can help you. And they're like, "What if we just destroy you?" And he's like, "Bitch, please, I don't care. I'll just come back in a new body. What, you gonna stop me?" And they're like, "Okay, fair enough." So yeah, that's the kind of thing. Is like,
They just reset. So
yeah, I think it's either Trazen or Oracan who can switch and bloop about into other Necron bodies. I think that's the thing one of them can do.
oh no, that
And
sounds scary.
whoever it is who can do that, he's really hated because he's just like, "Oh, boop, I'm over here now, haha." And you've got like a reliable Necron. I think that's Trazen, yeah. You've got like a reliable Necron servant who's been serving you for millennia, and then Trazen's like, "Haha, mine now." And he's like, "I'm over here.
What?
I'm in your friend's. I'm in your servant's body. Doop doop doop."
I said he was a Chad. I didn't even know anything about him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. When we talk about Trazen, it's going to be a lot of fun because Trazen's the best way I can describe Trazen is an internet troll. If an internet troll could appear anywhere, like just in real life and just do.
Not that they'd say anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop myself right there.
You know the Collector in wait, do you watch Marvel film? I think you don't watch Marvel films.
No, I do.
Oh,
I told you recently
okay.
I've been rewatching all of them.
Yeah, so you know the Collector?
Yeah.
It's a bit like him, except for an immortal robot.
Oh. I hate him.
That's fair.
Sorry. This is like, why? I want to be like, why am I trying so hard? But that is me. I want to do my best.
Yeah, no, it's like, imagine when you put it up on Twitter.
It's gonna look so good. I'm so excited.
And you're like, "Hey guys, this is my first painting ever."
Everyone will
of
be
a
like,
miniature.
bullshit.
And people are like, fucking try hard.
I am a try hard. I'm like rotating it so I can get the edge highlighting at the right places on the brows. Oh dear.
So, yeah, it's essentially like the Enslavers came out and enslaved a whole load of psychic races, fucked up the Necrons, fucked up the Catan, fucked up the old ones. Everyone's having a bad time. There's enslavers all over the place. Chaos is like, wee hee hee.
Oh no.
War and plague and plans. Bow 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 bow.
Bow, bow.
So they're all fucking around and being dumb.
The good times.
The galaxy is like, "Oh my god, it's the Walking Dead," and it's like, no, that's not for hundreds of thousands of years, and it's not going to be that great.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't. Oh god.
And things look pretty shitty.
Yeah.
And with the Catan and all the warp bullshit and the Necrons, the old ones were like, "Eh." This is literally what it says. Whether the species went extinct or simply fled the galaxy to seek a new haven elsewhere is unknown. So there you go.
They were just like, no, I think I'll, I've helped to ruin everything. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna step out. Like, dreadful.
So, finally, from the perspective of the Necrons and the Catan,
they won.
They won the War of Heaven. Fucking yeah. So, obviously, party. What do you think they do?
Chaos. Heresy.
Heresy? Well, heresy doesn't technically exist, I don't think.
What do? They fight each other or themselves or both.
Yes. So, do you remember how we talked about how Zarek, the Silent King, the king of the Necrons, essentially?
Yeah.
Remember how he was the one who had command of the Necrons?
Yeah.
Well,
Did the Catan take his Necrons?
No,
Oh, okay. That's a bit better
they
than I
left
thought.
him in charge of the Necrons, and
Oh.
they're like the Catan when they were super powerful. Like, obviously can't beat them the same way they couldn't beat the old ones. But you know what's funny? Is when two giant beasts of power beat the shit out of each other, both get pretty weak. So the Catan finally having beaten the old ones, they're also kind of getting fucked up by the chaos and the demons and the mind control enslavers. So the Silent King was like, fuck you guys, we're going to kill you. So because the Silent King had control of all the Necrons, he's like, revolt! And they were like,
Wait a minute.
yes. Roger, roger.
Roger, roger.
So the Catan were like, oh, hubris, thou art a foul mistress.
How unexpected this whole time that you
curse your sudden
but inevitable betrayal. Oh, that's not the right color. That would have been terrible. Sorry. What am I looking for? Oh dear. So they started the war rebellion.
Yeah, so they basically took like planet-killing weapons and energy in the universe that were so powerful even the Star Gods would be like fucked up by it. And they were like, you're immortal, you've been around since the beginning of time, but what happens if we take a little pair of scissors and cut you into tiny little pieces?
Scissors?
Well, they didn't actually take scissors, but
why would you use that as the example?
Okay, they were basically mirrors, and the Necrons got angry and punched the mirror, and it shattered into thousands of pieces.
Right. Okay. I mean that stands with their little emo teenage dream.
Yeah.
Sorry. So start the rebellion.
No,
war.
it's my well, it's like essentially the Catan weren't expecting it, which is weird because the Catan are backstabby bastards who basically like they.
I mean, they screwed over the Necrons, so is it a surprise? Maybe they were just like, yeah, fair enough.
No, I mean this is the thing is the Necrons didn't have the Necrontyr didn't have a great time of it.
Yeah.
They essentially found the weakest kid at school who was already having a rough time and gave them a wedgie. It's like, wow, you're the dicks. So
they got what was coming to them.
I mean, what they basically did is they took all of these shards of the Catan and they bound them into a Tesseract labyrinth. Tesseract labyrinth, I didn't know what it was, so I've got it up so I can basically tell you without having to understand what it fucking is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what that is.
It's an arcane Necron artifact that takes the shape of a small and innocent-looking cube about the size of a closed fist. It is basically a pocket dimension prison gateway, utilizing the Necron's master over hypergeometry. Fucking nerds and phase. This is what happens when your son tries to kill you. And phase technology to trap enemies within its fold, from which there is no escape. Necrons have used Tesseract labyrinths to trap and imprison Catan shards in the past. And Necron loyalty sometimes. Oh yeah. So like. I'm pretty sure Trazen uses Tesseract labyrinths.
Because it's hardcore.
Well, because he uses them like Pokeballs, but that's really neither here nor there. For example, he has like Terminators, like Space Marine Terminators.
Oh, you mean like they terminate Space Marines?
No, there's a certain style of armor called Terminator armor,
Right.
which is like, you know, dreadnoughts.
Uh, no. They're a type of ship?
So you know what regular Space Marines look like, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Am I gonna need to look at a picture?
yeah.
Okay. Dreadnoughts. I'm ready.
No. So these are Terminators.
Okay.
So it's
Oh, they're
essentially.
chunky.
Wait, these are Primaris? Why is he? Why are you? Sorry, they showed me Primaris. Right, this works. Yeah. So these are Terminators. Oh, sorry, ignore that other one. That's not right.
Okay.
It's this.
Oh, look at his little face.
It's a Terminator.
His little face. Aw.
Essentially they're more elite, more hardcore, more heavily armored, more better weaponed. Everything about a Terminator is just a step up from a regular Space Marine.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They
Chat's asking
hardcore.
if they can see too.
Thank you. What?
Chat's asking if they can see too. I don't know if that's a
Can
possibility.
you could pop it in my Discord?
Oh, whereabouts?
Pick GIF. Or I could probably do it.
No, that's cool. I can do it.
Great.
Boom.
It is in the Discord. And I'll pop it up on the video. For the autumn.
So
they're hardcore, right?
yes. And if essentially like Trazen has a tesseract full of them, and if he's in like a bind, he's like
Terminator, go!
Terminators, I choose you,
Go.
and then just throws them out.
Aww.
And he has done that before.
Yeah, I mean,
in some of the books and stuff.
Use it or lose it.
So the interesting thing is that they imprisoned all these Catan shards in these Tesseract labyrinths. They can actually throw out a Catan shard, and they've kind of enslaved them.
Oh, because it has the power of the sun still.
Yeah. So they have. I can actually show you a Catan shard.
That would be good. That would be good.
It'll go and pick gifts.
Great. I can just look at it there too.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah. So they're kind of
scary.
They're kind of the Catan are now kind of enslaved by the Necrons.
How the turntables.
Yes. Which you know, is great for the Necrons, not so good for everyone else.
Well, heck everyone else.
the thing is like, I think it's a matter of programming, weirdly.
I'm gonna say it's a matter of perspective.
Well, because you remember the fact that they're shattered doesn't help, because they're kind of splinters of themselves. But also, you remember how they are also necrodermis in nature?
Oh, and like when they moved in, they'd programmed all the Necrons to be a certain way. So do the Necrons program?
I think a little bit, yeah. Essentially, if they try to rebel or not do what they're told, they basically just, there's like a failsafe that just like whisks it back into its Pokeball.
Clever. See, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it.
Don't let them rebel.
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
So yeah, they have shards of different Catan that they don't really bring it out that often. I think one time they did against the Tyranids, because of course you would.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be fighting no Tyranids. They're scary.
But the Catan shards, even though they're like super less powerful than
but they're
when they were,
helpful, so
yeah, they can like control minds, manipulate time, and banish people to other dimensions and shit like that.
yeah,
so,
pretty useless then overall.
Yeah.
You know, just those little things.
So it's quite useful.
Yeah, I guess if you need those stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
the rebellion worked out quite well. And now the Necrons are off fighting everyone else again, right?
yeah, kind of. However, you remember that whole enslaver shenanigans thing that was going on?
Yeah.
So well, and also like shattering the Catan and destroying, well, not destroying them, but kind of enslaving them. A lot of Necrons were destroyed.
For now.
And everyone in the Triarch, aside from Sarek, the Silent King, were killed.
Right, but you said, I mean, were they like fully killed?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like. Oh, sorry.
No
there's
reset button.
There's the painted Terminator minis.
Oh.
In the pics.
You know, there's a painted warrior here.
There is.
Looking badass.
Looking very badass. Well, more bronze ass, but yeah.
Oh, it's difficult. I am going to be starting the green glow momentarily.
I feel like you should create your own Necron dynasty to go along with my love for the Thousand Sons, who are my Dust Boys, and you should call these guys the Rust Boys. As your
in honor
Necron
of
dynasty.
Steve.
In honor of Steve, he's rusting somewhere.
Oh dear.